Welcome back to THE Network. I'm joined today by Yun Shen, who is one of our top models and has been for many, many years, and we'd like to spotlight her talent. Welcome, Yun.
Thank you.
So great to have you. We really appreciate you coming to share your story.
Thank you.
So for our viewers, could you let us know how you actually got involved in modeling?
Yeah. The truth is, it was all curiosity. I had a girlfriend in high school who took some pictures and wanted to become a model, and she wanted me to go with her on her first casting with an agency. And I said, absolutely, I'll come with you, not knowing what modeling was, not knowing what makeup was or heels were or designer clothing was. So I went with her, and she was, of course, was this beautiful blonde, 5'11", stunning blonde hair, green eyes, and we went to the agency, and it wasn't THE, of course, but it was some agency in Tyson's Corner, and they were not so reputable, I have to say. They ended up wanting to charge her a great deal amount of money to start, and then she said, oh, well, what about my friend? And then they also wanted me to pay a great deal amount of money, so not so great. But it got my curiosity going. And then I thought, well, what is this modeling? So that's how I started. And then I found you.
Oh, great. Well, I'm so glad that you did, because as we know that when you're out there searching for an agency and they start asking you for money, then that's a red flag. Totally. Because agencies aren't making money until you're making money. And the more that people understand that, I mean, yes, you have to get pictures done, you have to test, but so what was your first experience as a model?
It was shooting for a bridal magazine with Pascal.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember Pascal, and I remember it was when the Odyssey first was the premier floating dinner boat in DC. And as interesting as it was my very first photo shoot. It was for bridal, and it was with Pascal, and I was very, very nervous, but it was the coolest shoot ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Pascal can make anybody feel comfortable because she's so professional.
She's great.
I mean, how fortunate to have her as your on-set stylist.
Yeah. So that was an interesting experience.
Wow.
It was really fun.
I want to talk about how people feel that if you're not a model by the time you're 16, 17, or 18, then it's over. But the truth is that you do runway, you do commercial print, you went to New York, which was incredible. You were signed in New York.
Great.
And so why did you decide to come back home?
The reason every successful woman decides to leave her career and come back home to, to home. My boyfriend at the time proposed to me, and we both realized that we wanted to start our lives, and we didn't want to raise a family in New York City. So I transitioned out of New York and back to my home agency, right? And I don't regret that at all. I think it was probably the best career move ever. On a personal and social level in New York, it was very, very lonely, even though my career was taking off. But coming home to what I knew and what I started with in my family here in DC, and that means, the agency and my my mom and dad, best career move for my life and for my emotional,
What I'm fascinated by is your selection of your second career, which is something that you have managed to balance along with your modeling, which is your hot yoga.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. I'm a Bikram yoga instructor, and it's the hot yoga that we practice in a room that's between 105 and 110 degrees at 40% humidity. 26 postures and 2 breathing exercises. So it's hot and sweaty. It's for 90 minutes. In the beginning series, it's the same postures every single time. So you're doing the same 26 and 2. And it is something that has changed my life, changed my well-being and my mental state, and it's changed my, my figure physically, and I don't think I could ever give it up for anything. It's the one thing in my life that will always be a foundation.
And why would you give it up? Because it's a mind, body, soul connection.
Completely. And I made the decision to become a teacher, a certified teacher in 2013. So I've been teaching for 4.5 years, and it was the best decision of my life.
So something that I know our audience is interested in are your beauty tips, because you have such beautiful skin, such gorgeous hair. I mean, you're a gorgeous model, but how do you maintain this? Because I know that with being a yoga instructor and a model and a mother, that you are juggling a lot of things. So what beauty tips do you have that you could recommend for the woman on the go?
Yeah, that's another good one, because I feel like every woman wants to know, what is she doing with her skin? I think the first and probably most important one that I follow is balance in your diet, hydration, drink tons of water, and then of course exercise and get enough sleep. I've been in my life where I didn't have the balance of those things, and I noticed my skin and my hair and just the way I look and feel goes downhill. And I recognize it, and I don't like it. So I try to make it right by finding the balance with that first. The second one is probably moisturizing your skin at night, because your skin does that repair thing.
So what's your favorite moisturizer?
You're gonna laugh if I tell you.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so on a luxury level,
Okay.
Creme de la Mer is my favorite.
Oh, I love that.
I do love it.
It's a great product.
It's luxurious, it's thick, it's creamy, and I feel like when I put it on at night, my skin's really able to repair, right? And I wake up in the morning and I feel good. My lines look a little bit more fine. There's also a drugstore brand that I love.
Okay.
Eucerin dry skin cream. It's fantastic. And out of the shower, if I take a nice hot, warming skin shower, I warm it in my hands and I press it just like I do La Mer. And it does the repair, it does the magic at night. In the morning, I feel great. I really do. Yeah. So, and that was a tip from one of my commercial print girlfriends.
Oh, I love that.
Who's also with the agency. Yeah. And then I think the third is bronzer. A good damn bronzer any time of year is fantastic. In the summertime, if you're feeling a little kind of crappy, throw that bronzer on, a little bit of highlight. In the wintertime, when you just don't get enough sun, maybe not enough vitamin D, and you're feeling a little down, throw that bronzer on. Hit that, hit the cheeks and the forehead, the chin. Bronzer on today.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. It is so impressive.
Thank you.
I love you.
Modeling it's not that hard, right? It's not that hard, and it's just a couple of key factors that really will, like you were saying, sustain a long career. And it starts with gratitude and just the people that you work with. Yeah. Namaste.